Here we go, 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 go. And I forgot to get my intro ready. It's been a little while. Here. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Today, we're doing it live. So we have a green day going on here in the cryptocurrency market. And today, I figured we'd take a look at all of this. And I'm a little rusty on my live streams. I haven't been doing them a whole lot. But you know, with a green day like today, I figured it would be a good day to see if this works. There we go. Let's do this. Let's do it, boys. All right, there we go. I got it. I did it. I think we did okay. We weren't perfect, but we almost got it pretty good. So, all right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's a blockchain backer. We've got green action over here in the cryptocurrency market. We're going to take a look at it. We've been talking about this for like the last week. If we end up getting these breakouts, I'll do a live stream on it. Guess what? We've got them. I'm pretty shocked that we just got it here within the last hour. We could see Bitcoin broke out from about 18,200 to 18,700, peaking as high as 18,862. The big one that we've obviously been watching for a couple of months has been Ethereum over here. So what happened here with this most recent little break that happened in Ethereum? We still have to close the day, but hey, man, not bad. So, you know, for me personally, I'd like to see that we finish our day with this strength too. You know, the last thing you want to actually see is like a big fat wick show up on the top of here so that the thing just turns over by the end of the day. But I think the market is pretty happy with what we're doing so far. So, you know, the things we've been talking about for the last 2 months, and like, man, it's been a rough 2 months, man. You know, this has been just kind of my thought on this. You know, we've talked about this, and I can kind of remember what was going on in my life too as we were in here. You know, we were creeping up to these levels, and I was like, you know, we're just gonna kind of go sideways for a while. And then this is where I went to Miami, and then it was like, all right, we get here, now we have to pull back, and you know, just kind of dingus price action that was going to go on for a while. But that once we would get through here, it'd start becoming that imminent breakout, surge incoming, annoying guy. Well, good news is we're there, man. So, you know, the last thing on my worry list, of course, is just seeing that we're going to be able to continue to hold above the 200-day moving average, because when we were back here last time, I swear, man, it makes me put the dang tinfoil hat on. You know, when you get here and you hit these things, and then some players in the industry make moves that like cause crypto to crumble, almost like it was intentionally. Clip City, you were the GOAT. Thank you so much for the super chat. So, hey, that's awesome. Now, if you saw over there on Twitter, so like, sorry, I've got a lot going on, just trying to get my thoughts together. It's been a little while since I've done a live stream. Over there on Twitter, I had posted that, let's go back to the Bitcoin price chart. We get the 200-day off there. I essentially posted this chart right here, and I said, I speculate we will eventually see a plus $2,500 daily candle on Bitcoin from this range that'll leave bears in disbelief. So I think this move was significant that happened in here, not only because, you know, we were looking for these November 10th and December 14th, December 13th levels to get cracked through, but we've also taken out this price level over here. Now, for those who have watched the channel, I've done a little bit of this action in here, and you guys have seen this if you've been tuning in. If you haven't, I understand, man. It's a lot of videos practically every day. Let's zoom out a little bit in here. This is Bitcoin inverted, right? So that we have been in here creating a reversal struck $20,500 if a big fat liquidation comes in here, which would be very similar to what we saw on the reversal that took place on Bitcoin back there in December of last year. If you remember when we spent months talking about the reversal of Bitcoins coming in. We're not going to hit 100K. And then watching this price level right here, saying once this gets cracked, this is officially the beginning of the bear. And then when we had that liquidation wick go take us out in here is where I posted my video saying the bear strikes. And then we talk about the bear market for Bitcoin. And I'm outlaying all the different scenarios that I could imagine on how a Bitcoin bear market would play out once we had that liquidation show that we have officially reversed. That's what we're working on right here in the opposite direction. It's as if we're in a moment similar to this. So will we get that full juice today, or will that come in the next couple of days? That's what I'm watching out for. If we ended up getting a $2,500 liquidation wick come out of there, you better believe it, dude. the bears who are hoping for lower prices, man, good luck to you. Yeah. Husky Poppy, how high can XRP ETH Bitcoin go before it hits resistance? We'll look at that. It's going to... Honestly, for me, it's going to be about watching what Bitcoin's doing at this point. As you guys know, I've had my theories on Bitcoin, and it's been for a retracement. So what will likely happen if we do get a retracement for Bitcoin, if Bitcoin can work its way up into these price levels, is we'll see the same thing that's happening down here, is that nobody would expect that we would get one. And again, this could take a long time to work its way up. But if we got up in here, everybody who was a bear down here, the same people who were bulls up here are probably the same people who are bears down here, and they will become bulls again right here. And, knowing what the market would do from these retracement levels is the hard part. And it's just like with the Dow Jones right now, right? The Dow has gotten back to the retracement levels. The reality is once you get back there, you just got to kind of wait and see what is the market now going to do now that it's gotten back. So when we get back here, and it'll kind of just be, what is the market doing? I still stick, like, let's say that XRP goes on some massive bull run or something, while Bitcoin's still only like right around here. Well, if XRP is hitting my Fibonacci extension targets that I have, well, I'm gonna take profit on it where it is, regardless of wherever Bitcoin is. But one thing that would influence me on being like, yeah, are we really going to get as high as I think we're going to get, is if Bitcoin is getting back up into these retracement levels and we're just not quite there yet. So that's one thing I'd be assessing for me personally, if we do get there. But otherwise, I just stick to my same old stuff. So, yeah. Let's get all of this junk off the screen. So what would be fun is if we actually got the liquidation candle to occur while we're watching here. So we'll put us on a shorter time frame. All right, yeah, so we're actually starting to move up a little bit more. Here we go. We're going to get that $2,500 to liquidate all the bears. Let's do it, dude. F them. F them all. So, okay, let's take a look at one of the other things that is a big one is the DXY. So the DXY is in full-blown breakdown mode. And this is why when I put looking out to 2023, why I'm just so much more optimistic on 2023 than I am on what, when we look back to 2022 or the late 2021, when we were getting ready to head into 2022, the problems that we were dealing with is we were coming off of a turning up DXY. So the DXY had already started to rotate up, and we had already hit the 4.236 extensions for Ethereum and for Bitcoin. So now here we are heading into this new year. We have a very obvious reversal happening here in the DXY. I don't know how you can't mistake that for being a reversal. And fortunately, here we are 12 days into it. We're seeing the continuation of it. Now, when I put that video out this morning, we watched that the DXY had broken down. And then 5 minutes after I uploaded the video, the DXY fired right back up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate it when that happens. You look like an idiot. But now we can see the DXY turning back over. So obviously, this is a back test of the broken support that happened here for the DXY. this thing's in plunge mode. So historically, right, and we haven't seen it right now, and I don't know how much of that is impacted by FTX or what. But I've lived through both of these moments right in here. This is the 2017 bull run for crypto. This is the 2020, 2021 bull run for crypto. When our DXY is heading down like this is historically great for the cryptocurrency market. We full blown have this. The only problem is the second this breakdown happens, CZ Binance, in coordination with the 200-day moving average, makes the stab at FTX. We see the collapse happen. We see all this stuff like just pertaining to crypto happen right when we reverse. So, okay, well, we got to brush that off for a minute, I guess. But in the end, from the macro conditions heading into 2023, boy, we've got something much better going on here with the DXY than we did back in 2022. So, Reflected Digital, hey, BCB bullish. One green day makes all bad go away. Yes, up 1 penny. Let's go. And I see that you must be using a cell phone. You're most likely using iOS because for all chartists who talk to each other with iOS, Green Day gets capitalized as if we're talking about the band. Keep our eyes over here on Bitcoin really fast, see if we can get ourselves a further breakout happening in here. I'm really just seeing if we're going to get that liquidation wick. But if we do get the liquidation wick, we're probably going to chill out for probably a couple days or weeks after that. But this would be the big marker for me to say we have reversed. And I think there's a lot of people who thinking that this is just a little tiny rally that's going to turn over and go to 10K, but I don't think so. Reflected Digital, at what Bitcoin price will you liquidate the bulk of your holdings? And that was a good idea. That's a good thing. So what I'm hoping for, if I visualized and guessed how I thought price action would eventually play out, is something along the lines of this. And that is my area, right in there, in between 40,000 and 55,000. That's my zone. So there you go. Thank you so much. And then last one for fun. Thank you so much. Reflected Digital. You rock. I'm in class and watching this Tanner Tate. Dope. If only all those people around you knew that we're talking about them. I wonder if you have earbuds in or if everybody can hear you. Hey neighbors, this guy's watching YouTube videos in class, but he's learning education stuff. Infotainment. Lane, can we get it's Wednesday, my dudes? I can't, man. Because today's Thursday. Daniel says, hey, buddy, would you let off or de-risk some of your Litecoin? Do you expect new all-time highs if Bitcoin retrace or just retrace to? Love you, bro. It's just going to depend on what Bitcoin is. We're in such a weird time in this market. It's hard to tell what's going to stick around long term. It's just a weird time in these last couple of months after all this stuff happened. Kind of letting the dust settle of what is real and what is not real. Because you watch things that ran up in 2021 and 2022 that set these massive, stole the market caps of most of the market, and then they crashed to zero. They were fake. FTT, Luna, UST, these things that swallowed so much of the market, they were fake. It's just a weird time. Angel Estrada, thanks for everything. Thank you. And then Reflected Digital again. Thank you so much. JK, this one is for real. All right. So for those who are just turning in, we've got over 2,000 viewers right now. We've had a big break happen here in Bitcoin here within the last hour. Obviously not big, but significant in that we've been stuck in this range for the last 2 months. Bitcoin officially broke out of this 2-month range here within the last hour. I posted over there on Twitter a little over an hour ago that I speculate that we'll eventually see a plus $2,500 daily candle of on Bitcoin from this range that'll leave bears in disbelief. Question is that this one? Is there a back test? Then is there one to come? We'll have to see. It's all happening very quickly. This might even be less than really the last hour. We're looking at just in the last 30 minutes that we've gotten the big breakout actually happening here. Of course, we've already seen that happen over here for Ethereum. However, with Ethereum, we are just poking above the 200-day moving average. So that's even more cool, more awesome to see that happening here right now. Of course, by the end of the day, I'd like to see that does end up closing like that. But things were looking optimistic already, that we were already seeing the 200-day moving average start to point up. You go back and you look at these past bears when these things are happening. We're heading down, 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 down. These things start pointing up. That's usually a good sign that we've already exhausted the market. Not only that, but just from a length of time, this thing has definitely gone on longer than what we've seen before. So we've already gone certainly enough time for something like that to play out. But today was kind of a big moment that happened. And really, Ethereum happened last night. I don't know if you guys saw that. I was posting over there on Twitter. My largest holding is XRP. I get it. There's a lot of strife in the community with XRP holders versus Ethereum just because of everything going on with the SEC. That doesn't impact me when I look at charts. Charts are charts. Ethereum is the number 2 digital asset in the space. We could pretend that not to be true, but it is. And so I keep my eyes on it. So I'm real happy to see that we're seeing some positive movement happen here for Ethereum. And then now we're getting the follow through happening over here with Bitcoin. So the whole market turned green. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And now we're waiting to see if we can actually get a real liquidation wick to come out of there. If a real liquidation wick came out of there, it'd be pretty epic. Man, what is going on here? Jay from San Diego, thank you so much. Here we go. Adam Seigman or Keigman. BCB, if you draw a fib extension on the Dow Jones on any dip from 1920 to today, the DJI broke out to the 4.236 to new highs. Why did you pick the 2008 crash as your basis fib and think it'll be different? Thank you very much. Oh man, we could go on for this for quite a long time. I've presented a lot on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. We'll try to make it as fast as I possibly can. There you go. There's the entire history of the Dow Jones Industrial Average here within trading view. So right here is your Great Depression. So this is the 1929 pop, and that's your Great Depression. And this is our entire run-up that we've had happen in here. An example of, let's see if I can get Ethereum in here. I think I have this thing inverted. Is this inverted? That is inverted. There we go. And is this the right chart? Yeah, this will do. We'll go on the daily. Kind of get an idea of what super cycles can look like. Here we go. We also saw this exact same thing happen for Solana. But essentially that we've now completed our final 5 waves of the 5 extensions at the very end. Let's look at some different technicals in here on monthly time frame. We see massive bearish divergence that has occurred here in the final push up. So after C19 happened, we can see that bearish divergence that emerged right there. Just structurally and the wave counts. So if you follow the channel for a long time, I always talk about double tap on top of the all-time high, bull flag, breakout, backtest, V bottom. This is a phase of a bubble structure. And so this is something I've always talked about. And when we have that phase of the bubble structure occur, that usually means we're nearing the end. So come off of your V bottom after your bull flags of aggressiveness. You go on, you set your high, and then that ends up being it. So is this going to be it? That's the question. We know that we haven't reached out to a full 4.236 on the Dow Jones, but gotten awfully close. We saw what happened with Bitcoin. We saw what happened with Ethereum. They did eventually go on to touch them. But if I'm going to make my best guesses, it's that we're very, very near the end, if not already there, for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. that just from a wave structure of an entire cycle is that we've already gotten ourselves there. This is a 100-year cycle. And we will never, ever see money get thrown at the market the way we did when we saw these peaks. When we saw these peaks, retail investors were getting so much free money, it was silly. So nobody, not nobody, but a lot of people didn't need free money. People who had full-time jobs were getting, family of four getting $6,000 checks just deposited into their account. Wall Street bets, YOLOs, free money flow just being thrown at the markets. I don't know how we're going to get anything of that magnitude again. Never know. But it seemed like a pretty good sign. And during that time too, I was pointing to what happened because everybody focuses on the Great Depression, right? They focus on like this terribleness. But what I did in 2020 and 2021 is I spent a whole lot of time studying what was that like? What was it like in the markets during this time period? And could we see any similarities? Because everybody's looking for negative stuff. They'll be like, yeah, we're going to crash because things are so negative, right? That's why everything's so bad. So that means we're going to crash. But my thought was, you know what? When the top came in, things were probably good. Things were probably awesome, and it caught everybody by surprise. So what was it like for retail investors during that time period, during the 1920s? I started doing research and watching YouTube videos. I had other people who were like messaging me like, hey, what'd you watch? And like sending them videos of what I was watching to see what retail investors were doing. Every mom and dad, mom and pop throwing money at the markets because everybody could make money. It was just like what we saw in 2021. Everybody just throwing money at the stock market because it didn't matter what you bought, you could win. And I think that Dave Portnoy video that's over there on YouTube or on Twitter that's floating around, and it kind of shows the history of him. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Some of you probably don't, but it shows him like starting in 2020. And he's like, I am the best. I am absolutely amazing. And it's just, you know what? If I keep up this rate, I'm gonna make $19.5 million this year. Boom, got it. And then, eventually you watch things turn real sour on him over time. But that's what it was like during this time period before things got real bad, is that it was a moment in time like that. So whether or not there's more bouncing around up in here for the Dow Jones at the top, I think that's reasonable to think. If it sets a new high, I'd be surprised. If it exceeds the 4.236 extension, I'd be really surprised. And I'd have a very difficult time figuring out where could the top of the Dow be if we do actually exceed these levels. But, just knowing that we're not seeing that on the monthly time frame, we see a big old divergence that has emerged in here as we're nearing the top. Now, Bitcoin went up and touched it on extreme weakness, right? So is that possible? Sure. But I think structurally we have the whole thing going on in there. So, all right, I'm going to move on from the Dow. I hope that answered somewhat. Just structurally, I think we're there. I think that's a full super cycle. And that's a bubble. And not only that, you see bubbles popping everywhere, right? So it's not only that, like you see the Tesla bubble popping, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook. You see all these bubbles popping, right? There's just things that are still holding up okay. And like the number one thing in here is United Healthcare, which I might have lines drawn on there. See. Where's United Healthcare? So the number one, over like nearly 11% of the Dow Jones is made up of this guy right here. And so look at the bearish divergence that has emerged on United Healthcare, or United Health Group. And this is over 10% of the Dow. So, does it cause cascades once that happens, like other things have happened in this market? And has Apple already started at the same time. So you've got these kind of things appearing here with divergences emerging in particular, United Health as the biggest one in the market. And you don't ever see anybody talking about United Health, but this is the biggest stock allocation of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And just to think that that's not a massive bubble is, yeah, I think it is. So we'll see how that goes. Back to crypto, right? That's what we're here for. We're here for El Crypto. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a move in Bitcoin. So, obviously we're doing the live stream for those who are just tuning in. We're doing the live stream because we finally got the breakout of the 2-month range that we've been looking for. November 10th has been cleared over here on Bitcoin. Last night, we did get the clear over here for Ethereum. And Ethereum is exceeded above the 200-day moving average. And if we recall, the 200-day moving average is where CZ Binance came out and went after FTX and the FTT token the day after we hit the 200-day moving average. So this time we are now breaking through this range, and we're now, we closed our day yesterday right at it. I was kind of like, oh gosh, come on, man. Do we have to close the day right below it? I had even tweeted, nice moves in the market. Now we want it to hold. If this happened during the day, we'd hop on a stream, but it's bedtime for the kids and they have their routines. It's the only 2 hours a day we consistently have our time together. So tomorrow will likely be action packed. So fortunately we are action packed, chaos action packed, but I was definitely biting my fingernails to see that's how we actually ended up ending our day. And then of course, with all the chaos that has happened this morning, finally we've gotten through it. So I'm excited to see that, but of course want to see our daily candle close like that because we have not closed above the 200-day moving average since April. I don't even know how many months that is. That's like 9 months and 7 days ago. Is it that long? 9 months, 7 days ago since we've even closed above it. But of course, that was like a big tease. I am more optimistic on this one than something like this was back in here. But here we go. We're getting the breakout. And then for Bitcoin, I'm looking to see if we're actually going to get a real liquidation candle come out of here and take out all the bears and all the shorts. And that for me would signify for sure that the reversal is in effect. And I've talked about this in videos. Here we go. What reversals can look like. And so one of the things we've looked at, I messed up all my charts, guys. Here we go. There we go. There's your reversal. So it's hard to imagine it when we're looking at it in normal form that this could be a reversal for Bitcoin until we kind of understand how these reversals have happened when we look at it from the inverted perspective. And when we were trying to find the top of Bitcoin, people could not understand why this was the top. And I always had to explain it as being the top by inverting the chart. It was the only way I could think of how to explain it so people would not continue to have their biases. And so since we have so many biases with the exact same structure to the downside, I'm going with the same strategy I did at the top, is trying to explain it in the manner of if we look at it from the inverse perspective to see that this is a reversal. Now, what we saw happen in the last reversal for Bitcoin, the major one that came at the top, is we actually ended up seeing a liquidation wick come in here. So I posted over here on Twitter that I actually am speculating that we'll eventually see a $2,500 daily candle on Bitcoin from this range that'll leave bears in disbelief. Now, this is prior to this breakout. We've started to get the breakout. And what I'd like to see is for us to get it quite a bit higher. And the fact that we've taken out this range in here is really exciting to me. This is what we ended up doing for our reversals back in the past. So big move. I doubt it's done. I do. I doubt that we have seen the end of this thing. I think we're going to see more to it. And I'm curious if we're actually going to end up seeing it here on this live stream. I'll put us on something like that. I'll leave that up there while I go check out the chat real quick. I know I've missed some stuff. All right. AC1023, wouldn't this just be a run up to $40,000 to $50,000 for Bitcoin, then XRP to $1.30, then come all the way down then the actual bull run starts. It depends on what your theory is for Bitcoin. So I catch a lot of criticism because I don't believe in a new all-time high for Bitcoin. I do believe in a retrace for Bitcoin. And I think we're seeing a retrace on a major super cycle. So for me, it'll be very interesting to see if the altcoin market significantly outperforms Bitcoin while it's on its retrace. Whatever happens when Bitcoin finally gets into those retracement levels, wherever the altcoin market is, let's just kind of be where it's going to be. And I don't think that I don't believe Bitcoin is going to pull what you saw happen back in 2019 and 2020, where I think what a lot of people are hoping for is this whole thing. I don't think so. So essentially they're looking for this. And then off and away we go into a majestic bull run. But I do not believe that is what we are doing. I believe Bitcoin has kind of stalled. I would not be surprised if this is Bitcoin's future. Huh? I'm not being a fudster. I giggle and laugh about it because it's just a thing that no one would suspect. No one would expect that we'd see something like that. But I think just from how big this thing has gone and what we have in the macro headwinds that we do have, it would make logical sense to me that that's kind of what we would see happening for Bitcoin. A lot of people would disagree with that. That's fine. You know what? The future is the thing that determines it. And you never end up really being a hero for getting that one right. But thank you so much. Josh Gillis, thank you so much for the super chat. Now, let me see if I can find these people. Whenever I take too long, it ends up, I lose people. Hold on. I don't want to miss anything. Okay, good. I got everybody. Okay, cool. Punit Giuliani. Thanks, BCB, for all you do. Thank you so much. Jay from San Diego again. Thank you so much. Tarek Buresk. I hope I got that right. What is your target price for Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP? Did I already do that one? I don't know. XRP and ETH and Ethereum are going to be dependent on what's going on with Bitcoin. I do have some outrageous price predictions for some of these things, but I'm not really ready to go into that because, look, if Ethereum is doing a real super cycle, right? So, like, okay, let's say XRP runs to the $10, right? That's an awesome run, man. That's fantastic. For those who are hoping for $35,000 buybacks and who are being sold that pipe dream from content creators, I guarantee you those content creators selling you that pipe dream are selling their XRP at $10 and not waiting for 35K. Real talk right there. But, you know, $10 for XRP would be great, but a lot of that's going to be dependent on what is Bitcoin doing. But like if XRP gets there before Bitcoin goes back into retracement, you know, I still take it. I'm not going to wait on Bitcoin. If I hit my Fibonacci extensions, that's good enough. Ethereum's kind of a different one, right? So like Ethereum, I'm still following the things like I created exit plan years ago. So I still have that I just depend on. And whenever something hits, I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to do this right here. Okay, I don't have to think about it. I did enough research years ago. I spent hundreds of hours figuring out what I was going to do. And if we get there, then I just do whatever my brain is telling me right now might be misconstrued due to emotions and narratives and things that are going on. But I had this whole plan out and I'm just going to follow that thing. But one thing that's really interesting about Ethereum is merely what's been happening with price action for how we got here, right? Is Ethereum in its own super cycle? Is Ethereum going to be a really big thing? I don't know. But one thing I found to be really interesting was just how Ethereum actually ended up landing, where it ended up landing. Let's do all that. Yeah, trading view still broken. That's the only way I can grab a log scale fib is if I turn this onto linear mode, grab it, and then go. But anyway, for the first leg of our run, Ethereum ran up precisely as much as it ran up during its last super cycle, which is what we saw happen for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has followed its last two super cycles with incredible precision. So Ethereum, is there a big run? Is there a big surprise coming? We'll see. If not, you know, I've got other targets that are picked out for Ethereum. So we've already gotten that, right? That was a target. A little bit shy on that one, a little bit higher on that one. I could see a higher than $20,000 Ethereum if the market does explode. So it's just going to be, how does the whole market handle a retrace on Bitcoin? If Bitcoin retraces and this market just pitter patters its whole way up there, then that's it. I'm gonna scratch that. But this is something I'm watching very closely and using my fib extensions for additional levels. But if Ethereum is going to explode and go higher, if an XRP is going to explode and go to $10 or something, I don't find it outrageous to see 5-digit Ethereum. So, yeah. Looks like Bitcoin's not quite ready. All right. But thank you. Brandon Hetty, thank you so much. BCB, you bodied. These must be two content creators. Good job, buddy. When Bitcoin hits 40 to 50K, will you also be taking profits on your alts at the time, or do you expect them to run a little longer? Yeah, I'll be taking profits on my alts, right? So I've got a lot of stuff that I've held ever since the very bottom of 2018, 19, and 20. And then I've got some stuff that I've been buying throughout November and December. So I've put my money where my mouth is, thinking that this is the bottom. I've been buying the crud out of this throughout the whole market. I've bought a lot of stuff, but most of that does go bye-bye when we get back into retracements, and then following my original exit plans on a lot of the other stuff that I have too, when we get back into retracements. But there's always a bag that I hold long-term, but this is just a plan that I've had, and everybody else's plan is going to be different. But this is mine, right? So this is from being in the crypto markets since way down here. A lot of my bags accumulated way down in here, and then really taking another stab right in here. So, but yeah, it's all about retracements for me, and I expect the narrative, I expect sentiment at that time to be the exact opposite, and that'll be a really good signal. If I get a lot of the comments on my tweets like we do down in here, no, you don't know anything, or no, you don't know anything, those are really good signs back in the retracements. And typically retail, the entire retail emotional herd does come back in here. You'll see a lot of doubt the whole way back up, and it's usually this last bit where they all will pile back in and believe that the new bull run has begun. So that's one thing we'll be watching for if we do end up getting that, is what happens with retail there. Right now, I conducted a poll recently, and 64% of retail investors do believe we're going to $12,000. I conducted that exact same poll at the top. 64% of retail investors thought we were going to 100K. And if you read the comments of those, it's pretty funny. Like, there's zero chance we will ever see $20,000 of Bitcoin, is what people were saying. And, you know, we get down to $20,000. We're going to 12. Not saying it's impossible for 12 to come, but, you know, whenever all of them are piled together and we have the same structure, the exact same one, they were all screaming for in the other direction, you know. We'll find out. Give me a big fat liquidation wick and let's make this thing happen. But body to anybody, it doesn't matter to other content creators. They can do whatever they want, man. A lot of them get it right. Get it right a lot. A lot of them get it wrong a lot. XRP Revolution. Let's go. Thank you so much. But man, we have a pretty good show up in here, huh? 3,000? Dang, it's like flare times, dude. Garlic Brad, thank you, man. Mike Shaw, super chat, thank you. The best pick me up on the tube. Thank you. Man, it's been a while since we've just even had a slight bit of optimism out here. The DP, I'm sober for 1.5 years. XRP fibs for profit, please. Nice, man. Congratulations. That's like the hardest time. It's the weirdest time. Acclimating to a new life. But you're pretty much settled in, I think. Who's Crypto? Thanks for everything you do for the community. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, Who's. Matt Bender. I'm late. Thoughts on Bitcoin dominance with this move? No. I checked on it the other day. It was still just hovering where it's been. Let's see where it is now. Can't imagine it's changed drastically. No, nothing yet. No breakout, no breakdown. I would say when I'd start like being like, if we got up to like right there, we got above 44%. It'd be like, man, that's kind of weird. And the reality is, if Bitcoin dominance does fall, or excuse me, if Bitcoin dominance does rise into a rally with Bitcoin, it's probably a better long-term outlook, because you have to understand like the negative things that happen here. If Bitcoin goes back into a retrace and the Bitcoin dominance crumbles, which is my best guess of what happens, that proves this is the end of the market. Because Bitcoin's dominance only falls throughout history under two separate circumstances. And one of them is when Bitcoin's breaking out into a new all-time high, or when Bitcoin's going into a retracement. And a retracement eventually rolls over and we go and set new lows. So if Bitcoin is rallying back up 30,000, 40,000, 45,000, and the Bitcoin dominance is falling at that time, it's presenting a really strong case that we are only going to retrace and that it's going to turn over and crash and crumble afterwards. If the Bitcoin dominance can keep itself steady while Bitcoin is rallying back upwards, it gives it a more optimistic look that it could be going for new all-time highs, or at least that we're not going to crash and crumble just yet. So I might reduce my long-term bearishness, because that's my long-term theory on Bitcoin. My long-term theory on Bitcoin is something along the lines of that. $2,000 Bitcoin. It's the worst thing you could say as a content creator, dude. Like, I hate it when I say it, because it looks so ludicrous and dumb when I do it, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. But that's just my general thought process on Bitcoin. But I do think we see a retracement, and it's very possible we stay here for years. Anyway, but if the dominance is crashing and crumbling during a moment like this, that's a bad sign for Bitcoin. If it stays still, then it's a better sign for Bitcoin to go on and set a new high, because I still think that Bitcoin dominance is going to crumble. The question is if it happens here or not, which I suspect it will happen here. If it does happen here, it really opens up the door for that to be coming next. And I've gone into massive detail on that. I'm not going to go too into detail on that. By the way, this is going to earn me a ton of thumbs down. So if you're watching this, which a lot of you are, if you could please hit the thumbs up button and help my thumbs down ratio. Let's get all that off the screen before we anger anybody who's like, hey, I'm just tuned in and this guy's got this big arrow right here. But that's nothing new. Many of you who've watched the channel have seen that many times. So, all right, good. I see the likes coming in. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right. Angel Estrada, what are your plans for BCH? I have no plans. I barely own any BCH now. And it's the same thing with the rest of the market. Whenever the market rallies, whenever Bitcoin gets back into its retracement, everything gets chopped. trying to find, where are we? Here we go. All right, Bra Ali, can you explain briefly, are we in a new cycle? Shouldn't coins break their all-time highs each cycle for XRP and some others did not last time? Yes, it is. It is still hard to wrap the head around it on things like XRP. And so the big question comes, you can look at it in this manner. This is a tough one, right? What do you have? Do you have that going on? If you do, then it totally corroborates a $10 XRP, because what is this? It's a crash, retrace, reaccumulation, just like we saw with Bitcoin. What did it do? It goes 4.236 extension. If you go 4.236 extension in here, where does it get you? It gets you $12 or so. But as we saw with Bitcoin, it went based on market cap. I think if we go based on market cap for, let me turn that down. Sorry, that's probably blasting y'all's ears. Okay, if we go based on market cap alone, I think I run these calculations in videos before. It's like around 11. It's around $11 or something. If that's the case, then good deal. But why did some of these only go this high? Right? That's the question. And that I don't have all the answers to that on why we would only go that much, unless if this was just a really long consolidation for XRP that went through a cycle already. I would have definitely hoped, which I did and thought the whole time, that we would see, if you go back and look at these consolidations during these breakouts, we did all these things and then we take even longer. The thing that I have to wait on is, and there's the things that I accept, and I explain on my channel that a lot of people live in a very, and I'm sorry I'm going to say this, delusional world. And when you legitimately believe in a $35,000 buyback and confiscation, I can't help you. I can't help the things that, you've gone down such a deep rabbit hole. I can't speak logical. Or when you think $1,000 or anything like that. That's just not what the charts do. And XRP has been very specific on how its price action happens. It doesn't have anything to do with all the money being tied to gold, buybacks by the federal government or the Fed, and stuff like that. There's none of that exists. None of it. What it does with its price action is it reacts to how the rest of the market is behaving. If you look at any type of price action movement that has happened here on XRP, it has only happened in very specific circumstances. It has happened when Bitcoin is topping, or when Bitcoin's going back into a retracement, or if there's an alt season in the rest of the market. There has never, ever been a time where XRP's price does anything on its own with any type of utility or in anything. It's always been tied to what the rest of the market is doing. So what situations have we had? We've had a situation where Bitcoin broke out into a new all-time high, right? That is a circumstance in which the altcoin market does run and does have a phenomenal movement. However, 5 days after we broke out into the new all-time high is when the SEC sued Ripple. Exchanges delisted it. Did that cause the massive impact on there? Maybe. I think it's possible. And there's the chance we got robbed. Or that's wrong. That's just an excuse that I'm coming up with and leaning on. Maybe this is actually just a ridiculously silly, long crash, retrace, reaccumulation for a bigger run to eventually come. But XRP's undoubtedly been one of the most difficult ones to deal with. No question. So, that's a question we'll never have answered. One thing we always know is that XRP breaks out with the rest of the market. We always know that. When does the rest of the market break out? It breaks out in two circumstances: Bitcoin breaking out into new all-time highs and Bitcoin going into retracements. when the circumstance hit of Bitcoin breaking out into a new all-time high 5 days later, mere hours after the official confirmed weekly candle close. So we'll look at it like this. See that candle right there? That's the candle that marks the alt season to take off, for the market to start rampaging. That's it. When does the SEC sue Ripple? Get it, come on. Right there. So we're getting our breakout. We're getting it to go. SEC sues the moment that we break out. 3 years. 3 years of riding through here. Finally gets the breakout. This is the mark of the alt season. Boom. Sues. Does that have an impact on broader crypto? Maybe. We'll never know. So. All right. Moving on. A lot of time on that one. Thank you so much. Amir Kermani, BCB, I've been here since you had 6,700 subs. Love your work. Thank you. Which means you've been here since like 2019. Thank you. Oscar Hernandez, welcome to Backer. Connor Harrison, much love from Vancouver Island, Canada. I watch your videos every day. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much. Here, I'll touch topics on what we're talking about here. So now that we have 3,300 people in here, let's just talk about what's happening with price action really quick. In case you're tuning in late. First of all, the most important thing before we dive into this is make sure you hit the like button, please. I've said a lot of things that are going to earn me thumbs down, so I need some help. All right, so what's happened with price action today is obviously we've gotten a breakout over here in Bitcoin. This is the things we've been talking about for weeks happening. Last night, we actually ended up getting it happening over here. Is that the right one? This must have been what we were doing on the inverse chart just a minute ago. Yeah, that's what we were doing. All right, get that off there. Last night, we saw it happen for Ethereum. So like this has pretty much been a topic brought up in every video for the last couple of weeks, is waiting for this range to break out. The November 10th height, we got our breakout finally. Ethereum is now crossing through the 200-day moving average. I understand not everybody's an Ethereum lover. It's not here to say Ethereum's the best thing since sliced bread. It is to acknowledge that Ethereum is the second largest crypto in the crypto market, number one behind Bitcoin, and obviously number one by market cap for the altcoin market. So good positive action happening here for Ethereum. That's typically an indicator of what's coming for the rest of the market. As you can see, the whole market is green. It's phenomenal. But then today, of course, we actually ended up seeing Bitcoin break out after some crazy price action this morning with CPI data being released. We watched the US dollar currency index down, up, down, up, down, 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 down. And I haven't checked on it in a little while, but I do believe it's still down. Getting pummeled. The US dollar currency index just amazing, right? These are typically the conditions that we see when the crypto market does do well. Of course, when we had this happen, when we officially got the breakdown, that's when FTX occurred. But either way, look at it positively for market conditions for the crypto market. This is great. We're just waiting on the crypto market to give us something. And today it kind of did, right? So today, after being stuck in a range for over 2 months, even for Bitcoin here in the last 2 hours, we actually ended up getting the breakout take place from right here. So these are great signs. I posted over there on Twitter earlier today, about 2 hours ago. Let me look at the timestamp of that thing. 2 hours and 20 minutes ago, I said, I speculate we'll eventually see a plus $2,500 daily candle on Bitcoin from this range that'll leave the bears in disbelief. So that's what I'm looking for. Now we have gotten a breakout. The question is that $2,500 candle happening today, or is this just going to kind of waddle here for a little while? But I still speculate that's what we're going to have happening in here. And if you've been watching the channel, watching for reversals, and if you were here during the top of 2021, so our April top and then also our November top, we spent a lot of time actually just looking at things from the inverse perspective, so that way we wouldn't have our own biases impacted by what we were looking at. And this is, people couldn't imagine how we could actually reverse. And back then when I was running polls, 64% of people believed that we were going to go to $100,000, and less than about a third of people thinking it's possible that we could go back down to 20K. And now it's the polar opposite, right? 64% of people believe we're going to go to $12,000, where only a third of people believe we can actually get to 40K. So 40K is not even a 702 retracement. I don't believe it's even a 618 retracement. I think it's like a 50% retracement. Gets you to $40,000. 2/3 of people believe we're going to 12 first. And so what happened here, like people couldn't believe that this would be the top. So look at it in this aspect right in here, right? Nobody was thinking this was the top, but the big signature move that really told us for sure we were in it was when we had the liquidation candle happen there on December 4th. I had made my video, the bear strikes, there on December 4th, December 5th, kind of outlining how I thought the Bitcoin bear market would play out. I tweeted on that day that I did believe we were starting a bear market, and in that it was the liquidation candle that really was the signature moment. If we look at it from a reversal standpoint, we're in that moment right now of, can we get a big liquidation candle to come in and just crush all of the shorts that are happening out there right now and destroy a lot of that bearishness. Hopefully we end up getting it. But I view today's price action as very positive and very optimistic. It might be premature. There might be some back testing that still happens in here before the bigger one ends up coming. But should we actually end up getting the big move, I just would be ridiculously confident on speculating that the bottom is in. I can't guarantee anything, but I would definitely be feeling like, oh my gosh, it's in. And right now I'm feeling like that. I'm feeling like that right now, but definitely we're getting everything we're wanting to see. And we're, not even just here on Bitcoin, but we're getting it over there on Ethereum too. And that you've got the 200-day moving average really pointing upwards. That was also the signatures of back in here that we were done, right? We were done crashing by the time we started rolling upwards in here. That's how we are right now. We got the 200-day moving average pointing upwards. We're breaking through the 200-day moving average. Remember, we've been talking about Wyckoff accumulation for the longest time, and people are just sick of hearing Wyckoff accumulation, and that's because we've been holding since June. It's been a long period of accumulation happening in here, and we had our spring, and our spring was marked with a very devastating event happening in crypto with FTX and FTT and CZ Binance and all these players involved, and the crumbling of the crypto universe with a lot of these different companies. So totally scaring the crud out of retail investors. But I stuck to my plan. I said, this has got to be spring, man. And so I've been accumulating all of November and December. I'm done accumulating for now. Just going to kind of sit back and let this market play itself out. But I'm in. And this would be the end of Wyckoff accumulation, should it be right. We're ready to start cranking our way out of here. But man, I know we're all tired of it. Ever since June, talking about Wyckoff. Oh my gosh. June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. 7 months. Ugh. God. And then this stuff for 2 months. Dear God. Ugh. Move on. Get out of here. All right. Get back to these things. So it's a celebration, right? 2 month range got broken, and we're seeing the 200-day moving average get broken by the largest altcoin in the market. I'm excited. And I'm really hoping that we get that one candle, like I tweeted about and I've talked about in here. We get that $2,000 candle just to say, stick it. By the way, guys, I took singing lessons yesterday. I had drum lessons, and I had like a makeup lesson that I had to do. And like I booked it with a singer to help me learn how to sing. Burhan Ali. Is your XRP target around $10? And is it for the upcoming bull run? Are we on the doorstep of a new bull cycle? Thanks a lot, BCB. Much love. Well, I think I did explain all that. And I don't know how far behind I am on all this stuff. I think I did explain that. Yeah. I'm hoping for 10, but I've got to watch what Bitcoin's doing and if the Bitcoin dominance is falling into a retracement, back to retracement levels. But yeah, I still stick with my same stuff, but that gets reevaluated as Bitcoin gets back into retracement levels, so long as it does. AF11, if Ethereum can reach 20,000 or more in this run, is there any exit plan before that? 60% at 5K or 10K? Well, I completed my 65. Man, I I want to say it was 100% skill, and I'm the most phenomenal trader in the history of all time. That's what I want to say. But I literally sold the actual top of Ethereum on the day of the top, November 10th, 2021. And I have the track records for it. We've got the videos out there on the BC Backer course and posted about it over there on Twitter that I completed my 65% exit plan on Ethereum on the day of the literal top. That's my biggest clout, but I will be humble about it and be straight with you. I mean, I figured it was in this area. I actually figured I was selling it a little bit early when I did it. I didn't think it was the literal day. It just happened to end up being that. So, for me, from a risk perspective on Ethereum, I've already kind of like done that. I think just with where we've come from, right? So we've come from under $100 to get to these prices. So any Ethereum I've accumulated down in here, I risk manage big time in here because it will finally be that retrace that I've talked about for a year, right? When we get back in here, into this moment for Bitcoin, and you get back into the 40 to 50K, so long as we do get it, that is the moment where it's going to be ride or die with my whole bag. I'm going to make the decision. What am I ready to ride to zero with? And what am I wanting to, like, if we go to moon, like if we go to crazy moon, what will not make me like FOMO back in? So that's where I'm going to be at a point of saying, what can I completely ride to zero with? And what am I willing to go to moon with? It all happens right there. But as for like a exit plan on Ethereum, 65% was already completed back there. All right, Bitcoin, how we doing? We're going to keep an eye on you. I want to see this I want to see a $2,500 liquidation wick. And if we caught it on stream, it would just be phenomenal. But thank you so much, AF11. I'm going to fall behind again. Oh boy, I hope I didn't miss any. Because my thing is broken. All right, I've got Terrence Rafferty. Thank you for all you do for the XRP community. Thank you so much, Terrence. AF11, do you see a scenario for more than 11 or more than a $10 XRP? What's the highest you think it could go and what would need to happen? This is where we like, feed me the hopium. Feed me the hopium. I can tell you definitely never $35,000. Never. Ever, 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 ever. Makes really great clickbait, but never. Not 1,000. All the money creates great clickbait, but not real. I think, if you just look at the market, right? So everything that I do is just based on math. I don't create crazy scenarios of what's going to happen where like, there's going to be confiscation like our gold was or something. Oh my gosh, it drives me crazy. If you just go on math alone, what do you need to do? What has XRP done before? The best XRP has ever done is catch up to the Ethereum market cap, and it's done it multiple times, right? So if you use that as a rule of mathematics, and you say, well, can we catch up to there? That only gets you like $8, $10, $12 in that area, assuming that Ethereum rallies into a retracement while XRP catches up to it. It still gets you in that $10. If you want to go beyond $10, if you want to go to $20 or to $30, you have to also assume that XRP will do something it hasn't done before in the last, gosh, how many years has XRP been around? I don't even know. 2013, right? So 10 years. You would have to assume that it would do something it's never done before, exceeding numbers like crazy. And my brain doesn't work like that when it comes to numbers on charts. Everything is math, right? Everything is puzzles, everything is lines, everything's Fibonacci's, moving averages, everything is math. It's not, I think because of magic, this thing is going to happen and I'm going to create the scenario for it happening. I just go on the math. And the math is if you have a Fibonacci extension reach out on the market cap, that gets you to like $11. And if you catch up to Ethereum's market cap, it's in that same realm. So to get beyond that, to get beyond those numbers, I think we would have to be seeing Ethereum going crazy, like really high, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. You need to be seeing, I'm not so sure about Bitcoin, but I mean, if I can imagine it, higher numbers for Bitcoin, but not, I don't think it's as mandatory as like seeing Ethereum rise. Because if Ethereum is rising, that means altcoin market is rising. Altcoin market rising is the only time XRP rises. That's not all the money. That's not Fed buybacks. That's not nonsense. That's just real. So if I thought we were going to see a number go higher than $10 or so, then I would have to also expect that Ethereum is rising at the same time. So that's kind of my thoughts, is that we would have to see the whole market moving to a whole new price level in order for that to happen. But right now, just the constraints of the amount of money within the system that circulate throughout the cryptocurrency market between traders and institutions, and just the amount of money that's here in this asset class, $10 seems to be really the max it could go, just based on history and catching up to the Ethereum market cap. So I hope that answers. And I know I'm sounding bitter and what's the word? Resentful towards the buyback thing. I'm tired of it. I see it all over my Twitter all the time. I see it on thumbnails of people that I follow on YouTube constantly. Everybody's using it to get clicks right now. It's kind of annoying. Sick of it. Because it's not fair. It's not real. It's not, I mean, and one of the things that I have a problem with it, this is my platform. I can say whatever I want. It's my YouTube channel. I want us to be taken serious as an XRP community. When people from the outside look at us, I want them to have respect for us and think, you know what, this is a group of serious people who are like really about having this asset grow and utilization of this asset. Or are we a bunch of whack jobs? You know what I mean? What are we? I don't want to be looked at as the whack jobs. I want people to be like, you know, yeah, we really want to use this and be a part of this. Not be like, we're going to get $35,000 for every one of these 30-cent XRPs that we buy. I just, you know, I'm an adult, you know. That's what I'm saying. I'll move on. I'll stop. I won't talk about it again. I love you guys. All right. G. James with Super Chat. Thank you so much. XXX, hey, if your theory goes true with Bitcoin, how would that affect alts? Also, what's your thought on Atom and Matic? I did buy some Atom. I didn't buy any Matic. I wanted to get Matic because a lot of people use Polygon. The price of Matic just scared me too much. It was too far away from the bottom. Maybe because it's so strong. It's so good, right? It just never gave an opportunity for reentry. So maybe it's like super strong. But still, I'd be following what I'm talking about. Getting back into retracements. But thank you so much. Michael Wisniewski. BCB, big up to you and your YouTube, bro. Big fan. Cheers from Poland. What's your take on gold and silver? Will it go up in 2023? Well, thank you so much, Michael. As for gold and silver, man, I'm so conflicted on gold and silver right now. So conflicted. So silver, where are we at? So what did we talk about for years on the channel, right? Like it was hard for me to accumulate silver because I expected we'd get back to 18, right? So we've gotten back to 18. Boom, bounced right on out of it. So where does silver sit right now? Based on its last drawdown, that's where it is. So I'm not talking about it right now because I'm like, oh my gosh, get through there, please. You know, we're at the retracements. You can see it hasn't been able to close a daily candle at all, or even leave like an open candle above there, above the 702 retracement. So it's about, come on, man, you got to break out. You got to break out. As for gold, look at that, 1900. Let's see if we can get this right. Gold, it's getting back into these same retracements up in here, right? So really kind of the same story. It's nothing screaming bullish yet until those retracements get out. When I wrote, it might have been my first newsletter that I wrote when it came to gold, is that gold and the Dow Jones Industrial Average have historically had an inverse relationship with each other. However, the inverse relationship is really based on like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. When you look at like the last 100 years or so, you start to see that, well, it really is all still the same big, massive bull run. It's just that this is what gold looks like, and this is what the Dow looks like. So we're all tracking in the same direction, but that when the gold bulls are happening, the Dow's in the bear, and then when gold goes into the bear, the Dow goes into the bull, then the Dow goes into the bear and gold goes into the bull, but at the same time, both of them are still tracking in that same direction. What's been real interesting about the price action that's happened in the markets over the last couple of years has just been that, or especially in 2022, is that we saw gold fall and retrace. What did we see for the Dow? We saw the Dow fall and retrace. If you go back to these time periods, whenever it's like we're not getting clear answers here, one way or the other. Is it all part of the same bull run, monetary money printing of insanity, or is one going to break up and one's going to break down? Historically, throughout this whole time period in here, if the Dow is going to go massively bearish, that's what happens to gold. If the Dow becomes massively bullish, that's what happens to gold. And these breakdowns happen. This one right here, I believe, is right when the Dow Jones broke out of the heights prior to the great financial crisis. And then we've paused out here in 2020 and 2021 as markets were ripping. So we kind of ran up prior to C19, which was interesting. We started running up before C19 because, I'm not going to get into this, but the Fed started bailing out the overnight lending market. It wasn't talked about a whole lot. It was kind of crazy. At the same time, it was like there was a bunch of propaganda happening and covering up is what I thought. When the Greta Thunberg happened and when Trump was getting impeached for the first time, it all happened like within a week or two of the Fed starting to bail out the lending market, the overnight lending market. We won't put on too much of a tinfoil hat, and that's not political. I'm not on either political side whatsoever. Both parties can kiss my rear end. But what you saw was this was running up when something was going on behind the scenes. But then when the markets really took off, gold stalled. Now the question is, which one's happening? The Dow is retracing, gold is retracing. Are they all part of the exact same trade? Or is one of them going to turn over while the other one goes like history typically does? So that's usually what we're going to end up seeing. We're usually not going to see both of these go on a rip at the same time. One of them is going to turn down and one of them is going to go up. Or the worry is, why have these been acting in unison with each other during this time period in here? And was it all just part of the really big trade, the one big trade? And I kind of did a write-up on that. So as with gold, as with silver, the issues that they're facing currently right now is exactly what we see. We're into retracement levels here on gold. You're into retracement levels here on silver. Silver not able to get through that 702 just yet, really stalled out. So we're just waiting to see what happens there. Back to crypto. Alan, first one, welcome to Backer. Jamie Kim, BCB, thanks for everything, man. Recently, you mentioned the possibility that the Dow could set a new all-time high, but I remember you totally excluded it when the bubble popped, or did I misunderstood? Best, JK. I believe I've gone into this multiple times in the last couple of videos, or at least in the last 2 weeks on this. My thoughts are that the Dow has topped, but the complications of it is that it has not hit a 4.236 extension. Is that going to be the end up winning factor? We'll see. The only thing I know is we're back into retracement levels to pick what's going to happen from here. And when you go back into retracement levels, I'm not going to put my stamp on either one. I would much rather be on the side of saying that's the top at the retracement levels than providing any type of hope that it's going to break through. The only thing we know about the Dow in regards to that retracement level is that the 4.236 extension is like 5% higher than how high the Dow has already gotten. The Dow has run up nearly identical to what it did during the roaring 20s before the Great Depression happened. I think we came up 11% short. So we came up like 490% was the run for the Dow this time. Whereas in like the Great Depression, it was like 501 or something, 501%. We're just talking like really, really close numbers here. So is this thing going to go higher? I would not speculate that it will. I'm not going to speculate that it will. Is it possible? Well, we know that it hasn't hit the 4.236. So that's the only thing. You haven't hit it. However, when you look at the bubble pop structure of what we've talked about over the last year, the fact that we came down this low and the fact that we are back at retracement levels, I will be danged if I'm going to say we're breaking through there. No way. I'm not going to say we're breaking through. My thoughts would be that we're going to reject from here. If we get through here, so be it. Next thing I'd be looking at is a 4.236 extension. But no way am I going to sit here thinking that that we're going higher than that. This is called danger zone for sure. Which also corroborates Bitcoin only doing a retrace to 40, 50K. And so we won't go into all that either. Hopefully you guys have been catching the videos. I know it's a tough time, dude. I know it's a tough time in crypto that you can't like watch every video. That like, sometimes just like, I gotta live my life right now. This market has been rough. But thank you, Jamie. Janice, please, how likely is it for EOS to hit extensions? Is there still any hope for EOS or dead in your eyes? Their Twitter page would tell you dead. Let's see if they've even tweeted. EOSIO, right? They stopped tweeting, right? So this is what got me concerned in the summer, is that they had gone 6 months without tweeting. So now they are at over 1 year since there's been a tweet on their Twitter page. That's probably not good. But thank you, Janice. Batmany. Hey, BCB, do you think it's possible that we will backtest that nasty wick on the XRP a few days ago? Yeah, you're talking about this one. I mean, anything's possible. I mean, this is just my guess. Right? That's all it is my guess. No, I don't think so. Does it mean we can come down like right here? I mean, yeah, it means we could get down right there. But I personally don't think we're going that low again. I think if we do go that low again, like the problems are much bigger for XRP than that. I don't think we'll see that again. But that's just my guess. I think that was the bottom. But it doesn't mean we won't get like within a couple pennies of it. Because like I did in a video either yesterday or the day before, days are starting to blur together now. We can range in there a long time. But thank you, Bat6. Try to catch up on these so I don't miss too many. Because what happens is if I go too long, it starts deleting them. Dang, just like it did right there. Oscar Hernandez, thank you so much. I got to catch up on these. I'm going to answer a lot of these questions a lot shorter, guys, just so I'm up to date because I feel bad because I bet I'm missing people. And I don't want to do that. I bet there's people who are upset. They're like, man, I did this and BCB didn't even acknowledge me and I don't want it to be perceived that way. So I'm going to go faster just to catch up. And I say that every time I do a live stream. I have not gotten better at this. But okay, here we go. All right. Wait, what happened? There it is. Connor Harrison, BCB, you say you're sober, but do you still get high on hopium? Psh, all day, every day, bro. Oscar Hernandez, on your online page, the exit plan is be the same as long as Bitcoin goes into retracement with dominance falling. Yes. If dominance doesn't fall and it goes into retracements, will you update us on your website? Thank you. Well, in my website, I make it clear that even if we go into retracements and and things aren't rallying, I still will take profits on things. That's just my exit plan. We go into retracement, that's it. William Devine, drumming, singing, BC Phil Collins over here, right? I was just listening to Phil. Dude, I had this wedding stuff last week. It took up 3 days of the week. Oh my gosh. Rehearsal dinners. Like, and then they separated the actual wedding and the reception. They're on 2 different days. And I'm just gonna whine and complain about this because I can't whine and complain about this to my wife. You know what I mean? Like, but I can whine and complain about it to 3,000 people on the internet. That, they sent out the wedding invitations and they're like, just love. We want to keep it really small, guys. We just want to keep it really small. And they did. They did keep it small. There was only 20 people involved in the whole thing. But when they're trying to not make a big deal out of it, you spread it out over 3 days, rehearsal, dinner, wedding, and then what is it? Reception? 3 days, dude. What the heck, man? But okay. Thank you for hearing me on that. Anyway, when I was on my way to whichever one it was the wedding or it was the rehearsal or it was the whatever it was, there was Phil Collins. Yeah, the only one. Da, 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 da. So take a look at me now. I want to sing that when I learn how to sing. As you can tell, I do not know how to sing just yet at all. But I want to know that one. I also want to know some Elton John. Love, what's it called? Your Song? I want to know that one. I got to go. I got to catch up. I said I was going to catch up to people. Phil Briscoe, thanks for being my TA guru, BCB. Everyone should sign up to bcbacker.teachable. It will change your life. Yeah, I got to open it up. I haven't had it opened up since April of last year. That's been a non-subscription thing. That's just a one-time $39. So every time I update that thing monthly, there's no subscription fee on that thing. But I have had it closed because I want to redo the content, update the content, refresh it. Life is just so busy, man. So whenever I do get that done at some point, which has taken me 9 months, and I still haven't done it, I'll let everybody know. All right, there we go. Did I have a fall off? 3,000. I wonder what happened there. Am I still connected? Man, I bet I'm so far behind in the chat. I bet everybody was telling me, hey, you're disconnected. You're not online, dude. All right. Have you seen Larry Williams' analysis of the Dow Jones 60-year cycle? He has the Dow peaking in early 2026 and going sideways for decades. No. That's what everybody wants. Everybody always wants. They hold on to this idea that we're going to go on this massive surge and then just go sideways. That's all that's ever going to happen. We're going to print the most biggest bubble in the world and then we're just going to go sideways. Now it happens. They always crumble. They always crash and crumble. So I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it. But I'm curious if his sideways is on log scale, like this. See, like Bitcoin, right? We're going to go on this massive run for a decade, and then we're just going to go sideways like this, guys. And then when you take it off log scale, you're like, oh gosh, sideways. Ah, holy cow. Look at those swings. So I don't know. I'd check and see what he actually means by that. All right, are we getting it now? Killa, thank you for everything. If your 10 to 13 price remains the same for XRP, does it remain the same for others? Not necessarily. You know, what we've seen happen here in this last year, it's been a weird year. It's been a weird year that not everything has taken off. So the main thing I'm leaning on is whatever happens if Bitcoin goes into retracement. That's really the main thing. And like even if XRP is like $5 when Bitcoin goes back into retracement, if Bitcoin hits a 702 Fibonacci retracement, right? If we go back here, and we hit that price level right there, and XRP is $5, I have to accept that for what that is. We can all lean on whichever one we want to value more to say, no, it's got to go the full Fibonacci extension. That's what it's going to end up being. Or do we lean on just, you know, how does the market perform historically? And it's just a guessing game. And my guess that I have to lean on is what happens into retracements and take action at those. Now, as for 10 to 13 bucks, let's say Bitcoin's only at $30,000 and suddenly XRP's at 10. Am I going to continue holding till Bitcoin gets to right there? No. Then I'll take action. We've hit the Fibonacci extensions. I'm out. So that's my mindset going into it, that for me, I have my personal targets picked out. If we end up hitting those targets prior to Bitcoin going into retracement or completing retracement, I take profits at those extension levels. However, if we get back into the retracements, that is the signal for me to just pull triggers everywhere, regardless. For me personally, that's just my plans, how it's always been. If we never get back in there, then I just continue holding the rest of my stuff till the end of time, until markets turn back up. And that's kind of always been my plan. But you know, as for my targets on how high things will go, it'll be about watching what happens as Bitcoin gets back in here, or if those Fibonacci extensions get hit prior to getting here. Doesn't matter about this anymore. This becomes irrelevant to me if Fibonacci extensions get hit first. So if we're just hanging out right in here and we're hitting Fibonacci extensions, I'm not waiting until we get here. I'm taking it then and there. So I hope that helps. Okay, got to keep going. All right, BCB, I've been following you for 2 years. I think you're awesome. Do you think crypto will do the opposite of the stock market when the Dow Jones pops? And so I can't, like I've kind of explained in videos, I can't answer that definitively of what my thought is anymore. My logic tells me, yeah, we've always followed the stock market. Whatever the stock market does is what we're going to do. But the problem is I've outlined what's happened with Bitcoin, and I'm just for time purposes, I can't go into it because I'm kind of spending a lot of time on every question. But when we look at how the Dow and how Bitcoin have behaved in 2022, they act interlocked all year long. And then it just so happens here in November, when CZ Binance does this whole thing, for the first time in 2022, we actually went the opposite way of the stock market. We went in a big move in the opposite way. So there's not the context to be able to scientifically to make the statement, crypto always follows the stock market. We can't say that because we have an example on the charts of where the stock market was going up while crypto was going down. And every one of these things doesn't matter. If we look at the Luna collapse, if we look at the contagion events that ended up happening, the stock market was doing the exact same thing during this time period. So we can't sit here and say it actually was contagion, or it actually was Luna that caused the rest of the market to collapse, or if it was Three Arrows Capital getting liquidated, or if it was actually the Luna Foundation guard who was actually selling Bitcoins that was causing this to happen, or if it was sheer panic because the stock market was falling too, and we were seeing liquidity issues happening between both markets at the same time. It is possible this is nothing more than stock market related. But when this happened right here, this big sell with FTX, the stock market was doing that. That is totally, okay, fine. We're just going to do it. We're going to do it. I can. Right? Did I pick the wrong one? I did. There we go. We'll get some of this off the screen so it's easier to see. You can very clearly see the price action of the Dow, which is in blue, right? So very clearly to see that every time price action was happening in here, Bitcoin was literally doing the same thing. You thought that the Luna and UST collapse caused crypto to collapse? Think again. Same thing was happening in the Dow Jones at the same time. You thought contagion was happening there in June when we went on and hit that bottom? Think again. The Dow was doing the same thing, and the Dow even led the way a couple of days ahead of time, telling it when to go, where to bottom. Then, as we bounce around in here for Bitcoin, right? Let's turn that off. Let's look at that price action. See all this price action in here for Bitcoin? That was the Dow. It's the stock market that was causing that. So we have unbelievable evidence that Bitcoin just follows the stock market and does what the stock market does. Even this peak in here, look at it. It happens right when the Dow Jones does. Every little bump that we have along the way, it's all happening at the same time as the stock market. But then something happens. We go the opposite way. Things change. And this is the first time we see stocks go up, and then we see crypto and Bitcoin go down. Now, do we say that it was just due to FTX and that's the cause? Maybe. But we can't definitively say anymore. There's this perfect correlation between the Dow and crypto. And when I made that statement, I said, this is the same people who propagate $35,000 XRP, all the money back to gold, all that crud, they're going to have a field day with this because now they can make thumbnails like this. It's true though. Like, we don't have sheer evidence to say we follow along in here anymore. Like, there was something opposite that happened in here. So your question is, you're awesome. Do you think crypto will do the opposite of the stock market when the Dow Jones pops? No, I do not think we'll do the opposite. I think we will do whatever the stock market is doing when it does finally go. However, I can't make a statement by saying it will because it always has. I can't say that because we definitely have evidence here to show that we can do the opposite of the stock market. So everybody's guess. My personal guess would be that we would follow what the stock market is doing. However, there is an example here where it doesn't. But if you look in here, you can see a recorrelation emerging in here, right? You see it actually happening in here. You see all of this. Let's see if we can get this. There you go. You see a correlation reemerging in here again. However, it had broken during this time period of FTX, and then the correlation re-emerged in here. So, each person's guess. I'm going to lose more of these things. I know it. I know it. Oh, sweet. I don't think I'm going to lose anybody on this one. But thank you, Zucchini Poppy. All right, Dishlin Jayasina. Will ADA go to a new all-time high? Don't know. I'll be watching it at retrace levels. Oh, you accidentally did it twice. Will ADA go to a new all-time high? I don't know. I'll watch it when it goes to retracement levels when the whole market is rallying together. That Charles. My dog, his name is Charles. And what Charles? Am I all caught up? I'm all caught up. Okay, so there we go. Now that we've been running for an hour and 33 minutes. Oh, there we go. Million Pixel XRP. Greetings from the Million Pixel XRP Wall team. We're thrilled to have you there. Okay, check it out when you have the time, and thanks for everything. All right, thank you so much. All right, we're going to... I know that if I turn this stream off, we're going to finally see the price go boom. So let's talk about where we're at, because I probably am going to wrap the stream up here in a minute. Oscar Hernandez, hey, BCB. Hey, thank you so much. What are the things that I'm looking for and hoping for to emerge suddenly right now? And I'm on the wrong thing. There we go. I'd like to see a follow through of epic proportions for Bitcoin. And, when I go back and review what times were like, scoot that over there so remember that. At the top, we were talking about the top, talking about the top, talking about the top. No one wanted to believe it was the top. Then finally we got the big fat liquidation candle. It's where the video was posted, where we dive into all the different ways that I could imagine that the Bitcoin bear market would play out. So we've officially gotten it. In my thought process is that where we are currently, right here, right now, is precisely in the opposite direction of us being right in there right now. And will we get the big liquidation of the bears to make them go cry home to mommy, that we have reversed? And so that's kind of what I'm waiting on right now. I posted over there on Twitter. Let's see if I can get it. I speculate we'll eventually see a plus $2,500 daily candle on Bitcoin from this range that'll leave the bears in disbelief. So hoping that we can get that to emerge soon. I was kind of hoping we'd be able to catch it on the stream as we went through the breakout. Things have tamed down though. But if we look at Ethereum, exciting things for Ethereum, and is the largest altcoin in the altcoin market, is that it did finally break out of the 2-month range that we've been talking about. That's it. I'm very sorry to people who get annoyed by big green arrows on thumbnails and imminent breakout and surges incoming stuff. We have reached that point, guys, that's what I'm going to be doing on here, because now a lot of my criteria has been met in here. And well, we've now crossed the 200-day. So hopefully we get the close above the 200-day today. We saw what happened last time we got there. And then a surprise narrative emerged, right? So then CZ Binance went after FTX. So hopefully we don't have that happen again as we're right here right now. That was definitely a devastating blow. You can't predict those things. That's black swans. If you think you can predict them, go for it. But we're through. Hopefully we get the close. I'm really excited to finally be here. As a content creator, I can just tell you it's difficult in these ranges. It's very difficult. You try to come up with new content every day and fresh ways to say different things that, you have a grand theory, right? Grand theory being getting back to the top of the range, pulling back, and then heading sideways. And then this is kind of where everything gets a little bit sloppy. Right. If we start heading up here, then great, but otherwise, expect that, hey, you could fall back down in here at the same time. This has been a difficult range, Crimea River, BCB. But finally to get through here, it's a very exciting time for me because I'm sick of talking about it. You're probably sick of hearing about it, sick of watching videos about it. 2 months of grueling and grinding. We're through it, baby. So I'm very excited, and I'm really hoping that we not only just keep going up, but man, if we can get a big fat liquidation on the bears as well, be more than enough to say, I think we have fully reversed. So I'm excited. I'm excited to make content regarding that now. In that, we've pretty much been right? Got back to the top of the range, pulled back. Now we've broken through the range. Oh boy. Hear my dog going nuts. But yeah, we're out. We're finally out, man. Oh, God. Killa, after making changes to your holdings, what else do you currently hold outside of XRP? I'm going to yell at this guy. Hey! All right, there we go. What else do you currently hold outside of XRP? Dude, I own a lot. Not a lot. And I'll figure out a way to communicate that of what I have. But the thing that I've learned, like when we went through the last bull, if I disclose everything that I have, half of them go on epic runs. Nobody ever asks about those. It's always the ones, what about this one? What about that one? And it's never on, so, let's say if I name off 10 assets and 8 of them go up 30,000%, I'll only hear about the 2 that don't. And that's just how it'll be. So I'll figure out a way because, I know people care, but I got to figure out a proper way to communicate that of which ones I bought and the justifications on why I did. So I'll think about that on how I want to do that. I'll try to share that. I don't know how to pronounce that, but CNAORTE Hey, thanks for everything, BCB. Any new thoughts on targets for BCH or Zcash? God bless you, brother. No new thoughts on any of them, but either the same targets or whatever happens with Bitcoin's retracement, that's where I pull the trigger. But man, I still believe in privacy in crypto more than anything. If any of this stuff is ever going to be used as a currency, there has to be privacy. It is just silly to believe otherwise. Absolutely silly. There is zero chance any of us are going to be using this as a regular currency and allowing companies and governments to peek into our bank accounts and make it public. Not only that, criminals, scammers, just being allowed to look at your bank account, look at your balance. That is what a lot of this is. That is what Bitcoin is. You buy anything, boom, that person has forever access to see your balance in your account. That is not the way this is all going to go. Privacy is mandatory. And so, am I still bullish on privacy? Yes, because we can't do it without it. We have to have it. No, there's no choice. I'm passionate about that. I don't care. I'll ride that to the grave. I feel that way. John FX, but thank you so much, CNAORT. John FX, awesome work as always, BCB. Thank you. Thank you very much. AF11, any comments on EOS? Should I hold or am I better off opening an OnlyFans? We just talked to here we go, EOS. They have gone dead silent on their Twitter. They have been silent on their Twitter for 1 year now. So draw your own conclusion there. One Rough Rican, can Barry or Cameron ruin the party? Don't know, man. I don't know how tied into it really is, right? So a lot of people will say that the bull run happened because of Barry Silbert and Grayscale buying all the Bitcoin. But you can go into my content, and before Grayscale was ever buying any of it, I drew out exactly how the bull run would be. Crash, retrace, reaccumulation, then we break out 4.236 extension. The price behavior played out precisely like that. Did Grayscale truly have an impact? I don't know. What is the impacts of what Grayscale can really do? What damage can they really do? I don't know, but it's a nice time to scare the market right now, right? There's not enough scare. Notice how long have we been scared about Barry Silbert and Digital Currency Group? All throughout here. You got, what is his name? I just wrote his name on this chart because he just told everybody to sell it. Microsoft. Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer's telling everybody to sell crypto. I just watched him yesterday on CNBC telling everybody that he sold his Microsoft shares. So of course I mark it on the chart. I say, okay, I've seen this one before. We'll see what happens here. 2 days ago, Cramer says on CNBC that he sold his Microsoft. Price is $229. So I kind of kept a little documentation to monitor how that's going to end up going right in there. But not only have we been fear-driven about Digital Currency Group this whole time, and the price has rallied $2,000 since we've all been supposed to be scared of Digital Currency Group here in just these last few days. Cramer's been telling all of us to sell everything. It's not too late. Reminds me exactly of when he went on Anthony Pompliano's channel saying, I'll never sell my Bitcoin, Pomp. I mean it. 1 week later, he sold all of it. Then he even said on CNBC 2 days ago, Pomp got him to buy a bunch of Ethereum. Really, Pomp? That's interesting. Who's lying? Is Cramer lying? Or does Pomp like Ethereum in the back end? Behind the scenes? Misspoke. That's called check the tape. All right. All right, we're moving on. Oscar Hernandez. Everybody, please like this video. I need thumbs up. All right, Oscar Hernandez. Hey, BCB, have you tried using the fib tool on XRP chart for September 23rd high and November 9 low? Do you see anything interesting? Oh, this is from the last person that was asking me how low. That I do not think we'll see that price again, but it doesn't mean we can't range. All right, you said September 23rd high. Okay, that's here. November 9th low. This one right here. But we did go lower than that. So we're kind of violating rules here. That it brings you back in here. Oh yeah, I mean, let's just use the whole thing, huh? Just go like that. And then I'm guessing you're gonna bring me to a 702 or close to it. Yeah. Brings you back to this peak. Maybe it's harder when we're doing it on smaller stuff like that. But maybe. Oh wait, are we getting a Bitcoin move? Come on, man. Rip the face off of it. Give me a liquidation wick. But thank you, Oscar. I mean, outside of getting to retracements, yeah. I mean, it's kind of confluence, right? Oscar, would you add them on your BCB website, all of your coins and exit plans for them? We'll see. Like a lot of the stuff I'm accumulating right now, it's going to get dumped when I would go back into retracement. This is called a swing trade, right? So we'll see. All right, I'm still following all my plans, but a lot of this is swing trading. And a swing trade can last a year, you know. Joseph Wiley, do you sometimes run into Bill and Ted when you time travel? Thank you so much, Joseph. Shravan Singh, Singh. Oh man, I'm mispronouncing that. Shravan Singh. I just wanted to say you are awesome. Thank you, Shravan. So I know what, I'm going to kill this stream. I'm going to end the stream, and that thing is going to finally go. But I don't think I have a choice. I think we've waited an hour and 47 minutes, and that it appears that the crypto gods are waiting. They're saying BCB has to end his stream first, and once he ends his stream, then we'll go. But so long as that stream is going, we're not going to do it. Let's see what the stock market's doing really quick. Dow up. Dollar still down. Just a clean break in that dollar, man. Dow. There you go. A watch chart never boils. Man, is it true? You just got to set alerts on the thing. Thank you, Daniel. And Shravan Singh again, thank you. So, okay. As I guess we'll just kind of get ready to close this thing out, and I'll explain the things that I'm hoping for before we come and chat tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, dude. Nice. Nice. We only have one day to make it, guys. Working for the weekend. Thank you, Declan Norman. All right. That's what always happens to me. I start to crumble at the end. All right. So looking for a bigger breakout to happen for Bitcoin. If we can get that price up to about 20,600, then we get the big liquidation wick that would make me excited to say that more and more confirmation emerging in here that the reversal has ended up happening. I'm super excited to see what the price action has done today, and we'll see if we can get this going. And then as for Ethereum, one of the big boys, the biggest altcoin in the market, we know that it is currently above the 200-day moving average for the first time in a long time, with the moving average actually pointed up. So we got our breakout. We're now getting through the 200-day moving average. That's super excited to see that happening. And then, yeah, we're just, what I really want is a big fat liquidation. I want to see that. That's like the element that I feel that we need, and I feel like it's coming. Just come on. So I was hoping we would get it during our live stream, but obviously we're still waiting. Crichton B, put your picks on Substack. The content there is very interesting. Thank you very much. Oh, Alex de Gabriel with the super chat. Thank you, Alex. And then One Rough Weekend, the fish update. Oh man, okay, I will do a fish update tomorrow, but let me tell you this, guys. This stuff has gotten crazy, man. Like, I remember posting on Twitter and in YouTube when I got my first baby fish. I have a 75-gallon tank that is filled with nothing but fish that I've raised. I think there's over 100 fish in that thing. All of them were babies at some point that I've plucked out and moved over and everything like that. So yeah, we deserve a high-quality fish update. I just don't know if people really like that. You guys like the fluff stuff Friday afternoons at the end of a video? I like doing it. It's fun to talk about my personal stuff. You know, it's the stuff that interests me. Outside, you know, obviously this is what I love doing, but you know, the other stuff that I love doing that like is not this. I don't know if you guys like that. Owen says, Llewellyn, when this all pays off, I still want you to name your first yacht Dingus in honor of all the haters. Yeah, well, you know, Dingus is a phrase I came up with quite a while ago. And I can't believe I didn't make one of the NFTs Dingus. It should have been. But, you know, you learn a lot from making those things. And I've been real quiet about the NFT stuff while we try to get through this rough time period. But it's time for me to start bringing that stuff up. We got to sell that thing out. The FTX stuff happened a couple of days, like 3 days after my collection went live. It was doing phenomenal. The FTX collapse happened and was just like, oh my gosh, it's not even appropriate to talk about this thing at this point. But now that we're kind of this market's starting to turn around and bring that back up, we got to sell this thing out. And I didn't make a Dingus one. But I don't know if a Dingus one would do good. If one of the things we tried to do in all the NFTs was try to like incorporate something that to do with the channel that people who watch it would get it. Like people would get Dingus. People who are long-time people would understand Dingus. Yeah, we say that all the time. I've been saying that for years. But those, even the ones that were like totally focused on like people who would understand the channel, they didn't do as well as the epic stuff, right? Like I started out this video with the event, right? The event, may the fib be with you. Those are the epic ones. That's the stuff people liked. So I learned a lot on that. That's the kind of stuff people want, which is cool. But yeah, if I ever get a boat, I don't know if I'll name it Dingus. I don't think so. But thank you, Owen. Preston Olson, do you have new XRP price targets due to no retrace? Still 10? Still 10. Even if this is like a 6-year consolidation, 8-year consolidation, it's like, no, man, it's like 2 bull runs combined into one. Nope, still 10. So, all right. So here's what I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to let things kind of chill out for a minute. Part of me is just saying I can't end the stream with this thing sitting here. So I'm going to take a break for a minute. I'm going to go get some water, get a little snack. Going real quick, and if I'm gonna let this live stream run for just a minute, I can't turn it off with doing that, but I do need a break. So viewership will fall off. That's fine. Whatever. Who cares? But then I'm gonna set this alarm. So if I'm away from my computer, I'll hear that. But we can see Ethereum at 1428. See the whole market green. Except for a couple who Flare. Man, David Schwartz has been laying into them, huh? Can you sing a little and do a drum roll for an exit? All right. I'm going to take a break for a minute. We'll put this on here for people to tune in. Taking break. Been live for 2 hours. Water. Food. BRB. 15 min. Oh, boy, wait. What was that? Dude, see, man, if I would have killed the stream. There we go. Come on. All right. All right. But I am going to chill out for a minute. I'm going to put me on mute. And I'll be back in uno mas momento. I haven't left. I'm still here watching this. The algos and institutions watching the channel are like, wait a minute. Oh, wait, he's still here. We can't do that. We're gonna turn it red. So my bad. Hey, wink, wink. I'm walking away from the computer for 15 minutes. All right, guys, I really am. Be right back. All right. All right. Good enough. I'm back, Algos. I know you needed me. So we could be in here for some time. That scared me. Boo! Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. Forgot I had the screen open. Yeah, some dudes over there like hanging out on Facebook. Like, what just happened? Probably at work. Hello, coworkers. All right. Well, guys, I think there's it's hard to say, right? We've gotten the breakout. I think the algos want me to turn the stream off in order to pump this thing, and I'm not here to hurt that. I'm here to help that. I would love for the pump to go. Um, yes, we love your personal stuff, Kyle Hansen. Sweet. All right, cool. Um, did you wash your hands? I actually didn't even go to the restroom, so no, I did not wash my hands. Oscar Hernandez. Thank you. So, all right. You know what, guys? It is getting late. We've been going for over 2 hours here. And I think we've had an exciting thing. I think kind of repeated the same thing enough. I want to see us keep going. Waiting to see if we can get some liquidation happening. Still may back test this breakout. Breakout back tests are very, very common. Like we all know that. If you don't know that by now, you should know that by now. That a retest is possible. But what I'd like to see is just go liquidate those bears, dude. And then not get overly excited. You may do it after, right? You may do it after. But the liquidation would be the thing that'd be like, yes, we're good to go. So as we wrap up today, guys, that's just kind of what I'm sitting here waiting for. I think I'm just going to keep setting alerts on here. Obviously, we just had an alert trigger for that height being taken out. But there's this particular price action. Who knows, right? Maybe, are people shorting it like crazy right now? Market's waiting for those shorts to build up and then crush them. We'll see. Ethereum, man, I am so excited to see that happen in here. To see that Ethereum has gotten through the level we've watched for 2 months. Annoying as can be. Content is mega bullish from me here on out until something devastating happens. Then we'll change that up. Otherwise, I'm the bullish blockchain backer for sure. And we've gotten through it. So I don't want to, what is going to happen. The great news is the second I turn the stream off, we're going to go get that big mega pump. I think we all want that. Right. So I'm gonna give that to us, guys. I'm gonna kill the stream, and then we're gonna check in on everything tomorrow morning. So I sincerely appreciate you guys. So many of you guys tuned in today. What a great day to do the stream. Thank you so much for watching and being there through the thick and the thin, man. It's a long, bumpy road in crypto. The good times are short. The bad times are rough and long. But we're going to make it through. So, and I think today was a really, really, really good sign that we're one step closer. So, all right. I'm going to end the stream so we can go ahead and get a big pump out of this market. But thank you guys. I really appreciate you all watching. I appreciate you engaging in the chat. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the continued support, all the kind words. I'm looking at the chat right now. Thanks, BCB. Thanks, BCB. Love you, bro. Take care. Thanks, bud. All the nice things that you guys have to say. I really appreciate that. And all your comments on the YouTube videos, they get manually approved. And it's hard to acknowledge all of them. Just know that they all get read. And you wouldn't believe how much the positive comments help outweigh a lot of the toxicity that goes on out there. So don't think that you're not getting read. Don't think that you're not appreciated. You are. And thank you guys so much for being here. Oscar again. Wait, is ETH going into retracement if Bitcoin does? Thanks for everything. I'll have to address that another time. I don't know. But yeah, I'm continuing what I was saying. But thank you guys. So we'll check in tomorrow. I think we've kind of just reached today. We've reached a new moment in time, and I'm happy to see that. So, all right, man. Long day, but a great day. And thanks for coming out and hanging out with me. So I'm going to wrap this thing up, guys. And I'll read this piece of paper that I have that I've always read at the end of every stream and every video. But sometimes I have it kind of memorized now because I've done like 700 or 800 of these videos. But I deviate the wording just a little bit. But here we go. Get that singing voice ready. All right. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.